Hello, everybody. This is Brad Swift with Right on Purpose Coaching, and today we're going to answer one of the questions that I have heard quite often here lately, and that is, how do I get my books published and online, particularly if I want to be an indie publisher? Indie publisher meaning an independent publisher, self-publisher. Well, today I'm going to guide you through that process on how to get your books online using Kindle Direct Publishing of Amazon. So let's take a look. Okay, we should be on screen share here, and you will see that we are at kdp.amazon.com. And for us in the United States, it would be /en_US. And if that's different, if you're in different countries, you may have to look that up. Now, what you're going to start with is to sign in with your Amazon account. So again, if you don't yet have an Amazon account, you'll need to create one of those. What I'm going to do, or at least endeavor to do here, is I'm going to sign in. And since I already have a well-established KDP account, which we'll be looking at shortly, I'm going to start by working with my wife's account, who does not have anything established yet on KDP, to see how to do that from scratch. So again, you put in your email, phone for mobile accounts, you can use that, and then the password. This would be the same thing that you have for your Amazon login. And then you sign in, and you'll probably get a OTP. I believe that's OTP. So you'll need to have that to sign in if you have that part established. Otherwise, you'll be able to get right in. So I'm going to just pause this video for a minute until we get that. Okay, so we've put in that code, and now we're into the area, the KDP area, and you'll see you have a bookshelf area, a report area, community area, and KDP select area. And we're going to focus right now on getting this established. You'll see that your account information is incomplete. So if you have not set up KDP before, to publish a book, you will need to complete this information. So we're just going to quickly kind of go over there, take a look at that. So you have to complete these various parts. The author-publisher information, the process for getting paid, and the tax information. And then you have an account ID here. So you want to complete this various information at here, each one, like the country, region you want to put in. You want to be how to get paid. You need to put in this various stuff. Now again, I'm not going to put this in. I just wanted to show you that you need to complete this information before you can get started. So again, back to the bookshelf area. There's also an information here about CreateSpace. If you're familiar with that, they've moved to Kindle Direct Publishing. So everything, including your ebook formats and your quality paperbacks, can be done right here in your Kindle Direct Publishing account itself. Now, we're going to switch over here in just a moment to my account, which you'll see more of this already completed itself. I just wanted to point out that in establishing your own KDP account, you need to complete this information first. So again, I'm going to pause the video for just a moment until we get over to the other account itself and looking at that in more depth. Okay, now you'll see this looks a good bit different. Kind of, again, the top part's very similar, but then you've got down here, well, books are already established. So you see some of my most recent books that I've worked on. And what we're going to do is going to actually go into these so you can kind of see the process itself. So I'm going to show you first from an actual book that's in there. So if you want to make any changes, I'm going to go down here to the second book, Ghost Elephant, to work with this. You have various options here. You have promote and advertise. If you scroll over on this, you'll see that you can make changes to your ebook, details, to the content, to the pricing, whether or not it's in KDP Select, and you can also promote and advertise from this area, or you can add X-ray. Those are the different options, to this area. And again, you have also options around the paperback action. So you can see here that this is where you can have both your ebook created or your also your paper book, created as well. And then here you have again similar, detailed information. So let's just go in and look at an account here. So let's go in, starting with the ebook details. Okay, and I'm going to go through this, but again, this is what you would see if you were creating one from scratch. But by going into one that's already been established, we can take it through these three different areas: the ebook details, the ebook content, and the Kindle ebook pricing. Okay, so you have an option of the language. You can change the different languages itself. We're going to keep it with English. Then you would put in your book title. In this case, it's Ghost Elephant. You can optionally have a subtitle. This has a subtitle, Book 3 of the Zach Bates Eco Adventure series. And then you can either put that up there, or you have the option of putting it here as a series information. And again, I put in Zach Bates Eco Adventure series and Book 3. And then you can also look at your edition number if you've had, and this is again optional, so if you've had other editions, you may want to put that in. And then what your primary author or contributor is, and again I use the name of W. Bradford Swift for this series. And then you can, at your own, again optional, you can, if you have a co-author, you can put in another author, or you can put in the editor, who wrote the foreword, if you have an illustrator, if you had an introduction, narrator, photographer, if there was a preface that you wanted to, somebody else wrote the preface, or if you had a translator. Those are all options that you can put in here, and you don't have to put any of those in if you choose not to. Then here's an important area here, and I'm going to expand this just a little bit. Okay, this is the book description. This will appear on your book's Amazon detail page. So this is very important, and you'll see that I have inserted some HTML code. You can get that code information. I'll put the link to where you can get that code information at the bottom of this video. So you can put in, and you want to have this is essentially your book description, or your book blurb is another way to think about that. So you want to put that all in this area. And then you want to make sure that you own the copyright and hold the necessary publishing rights, or if this happens to be a public domain work itself. Those are your options there. Now you got keywords. The keywords can have up to 7 search keywords. And you, again, I'm not going to go into details about how to create the keywords, but this is where you would put those in. I have one in here, Storyteller UK 2019, which was a keyword for a particular contest. So that contest is over. So I'm there going to put in cat fiction, since one of the main characters is a cat in this particular book. But see, you can see how you can put that information in. Then you can choose up to 2 browse categories. You can set the categories here. You'll see all sorts of choices here: fiction, nonfiction, juvenile fiction, and then different ones can be opened up to have different areas as well. The ones that I chose was juvenile fiction, animals was elephants, and the other one was fiction, visionary, metaphysical. You can have 2 here, and there is a way, maybe I'll do a video later on that, how you can get your book listed in multiple other categories that might be a good fit for your particular book. But this is where you put in the 2 primary ones here. Then you can have an age and grade range. Again, this is optional. I tend to not put anything there, just my choice. But again, if you want to have an age range, that was where you'd put that. There is a pre-order option. This book, I think, was on pre-order and it was released in 2019. So once you have all of that you want it, just as you want it, you scroll down, back down here to the bottom, and you say, you can save it if you want to come back to it, or if you want to continue on to finish the process, you do save and continue. And this is the reason we're doing a previously published book, so that we can actually go on beyond this. Okay, so now you're in the second area, the Kindle ebook content. Okay, you can choose whether you want digital rights management, DRM, choose yes or no. I chose no. Now you want to upload an ebook manuscript, and you can see here that the recommended format for Kindle ebooks can be doc, docx, HTML, MOBI, EPUB, RTF, plain text, and KPF, which I have no idea what that is. And it says CFO list here. Now, I generally use either a MOBI that I've already had created elsewhere, or Word doc, but you can experiment with the different options that you have here. So when you have your manuscript in the format of your choosing, you can go to upload the ebook manuscript here. And that can take a few minutes once you upload it and you get down to saving this area. You can see that my manuscript, ghostelephant.mobi, uploaded successfully. Now, just make a comment here. I use Draft to Digital. It's another website for formatting. So I will use Scrivener first. That's my choice, the Word document, to write the book. I then download it as a Word document, and then I go to Draft to Digital to actually format it the way I want to. And there will be another video on how to use Draft to Digital in another time. So I just want to mention that here. Then a Kindle ebook cover. So you want to have your book already done in a cover, or you can create one here. You'll see it says use cover creator to make your book cover, or you can upload a cover you already have as a JPEG or TIFF. So you can upload the cover here. So we're not going to get into the details on the two options here today, but those are the two options that you do have. And then once if you have an upload, you can just click your upload file, and you see that my cover was uploaded successfully. Okay, then we're moving down here to online previewer. This gives you the choice to actually preview, what you have uploaded. We'll take a quick look at this. I say quick load, we'll see how quickly. It's pretty nifty, really pretty nifty. Okay, now you can see this is what it looks like, on the Kindle Reader itself. And you can change the look if you want to see what it looks like on a landscape view. And you can literally go through pages, by pages, to see what it all looks like. And you can see that there's some different, formatting, some different graphics here. And this starting out is, large and all that. That's all adjustable, but based on the Draft to Digital. Couldn't remember the name of the website at first. Draft to Digital right there. So again, you can see what it looks like and how it's going to look on the screen to your readers itself. And then when you're done with that, you can go back to the book details. And scroll back down, you'll see that it actually will do, you can check spell checking there. I believe those two possible spelling errors were things that were not actual errors, is some things, characters' names or something like that. Okay, now we're down here to the bottom. You can put in a Kindle ebook ISBN. As it says here, this is optional. Kindle ebooks are not required to have an ISBN. The quality paperback will be, but it's not necessary here. And then if you have a publisher's name, all my books are published through Porpoise Publishing, my company. I put that in there, but again, that is optional. So once you have everything that you want in that second area, then you can go to the third area, which is pricing. Okay, now we're up here in the third area. You can have KDP Select enrollment. KDP Select, you can reach more readers, as it says, earn more money, and maximize your sales potential. And then there's a link here where you can learn more about KDP Select. So this is, again, where people who have signed up for KDP Select can have access to your book on a monthly basis, and then Amazon actually measures the number of pages they read and gives you pays you for each page read. So it might be useful to do another another video on how to use KDP Select and the pros and cons of that, but we won't cover that here. Then your territories, in my case, I want all territories covered, worldwide rights. But if you want individual territories, you have that option as well. And then you get into royalty and pricing. So you see the relationship between price and past sales and authors' earnings for the KDP books like yours. So this is in beta. It's been in beta for quite some time, but it's a way that they can kind of give you a measure to where the best pricing might be. Now we're not going to get into a lot of the ways of figuring out your pricing, but just to point to that you are going to be able to set your price yourself, and this is where you do it. So again, you can just kind of click on this, and this will show you what they're recommending the price should be, analyzing historical data for KDP books similar to Ghost Elephant. So it's actually analyzing that, and then in a moment, hopefully in a quick moment, it will give us information about what they are recommending. Okay, it finally quit spinning the wheel there, and we can look at and see. So based on historical data for KDP books similar to Ghost Elephant, a list price of $2.99 USD and a 70% royalty plan maximizes authors' earnings. So you can see the graph there that when you stay at the 35% royalty plan, you're getting profit there, and it obviously jumps up when you get to the minimum pricing where you qualify for the 70%. So that's going to be pretty typical, recommendation. At least that's what I have seen. And then I had already set it at $2.99, so I'm just going to go back to the rights and pricing area itself, and hopefully we won't have a long wait this time. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So again, you have the choice. You can go 70% or 35% of the royalty. I think that's pretty of a no-brainer which one to do. But again, you do have some restrictions. If you go with the 35%, you calculate from your royalty rates, and you have to have, again, to be at the 70%, it must be between $2.99 and $9.99. So if you're first launching a book and you want to launch it at 99 cents or $1.99, then you can do that, and that will be at the 35% level itself. Okay, and there's some reasons you might want to do that, which we'll not get into here. Book lending, you have the option to allow lending for this book. And I recommend that. I think, being able to have other readers lend your book out will, have other people know about your work. That's just my choice. Okay, so it can take up to 72 hours for your title to be available for purchase on Amazon. So by clicking the button below, I confirm that I have all rights necessary to make the content I am uploading available for marketing, distribution, and sale in each territory I have indicated above, and I am in compliance with the KDP terms and conditions. So when you're first starting out, it might be useful for you to click there and find out exactly what all the KDP terms and conditions are. I have read that, and I am now going to say publish your Kindle ebook. And it will go through the whole process of checking everything out there and tell you when it's done. And then it'll give you this notice. It can take up to 72 hours for your title to be available for purchase on Amazon. My experience is it usually doesn't take that long, but it can, which is also one of the reasons why I did not choose to do the Fringe Candidate, because it's currently on its launch period, so I didn't want to have it not be available to readers for the next couple of days. Okay, that's pretty much it. We won't get into the paperback action this time. We'll save that for another time. But again, there is that option as well. And I hope that you found this to be useful. If it was useful, and if you'd like to find out more about this and you're not already part of the Write on Purpose coaching tips, you can subscribe to those by going to the link here at the bottom of this screen. Thanks so much. I appreciate your listening.